Hi guys, welcome to our very first episode of Cyril and Nene
Why does it have to
Aliemeke.
be my name first? It should be your name.
Okay, Nene and Cyril Aliemeke talk everything love, life, and everything in between, basically. So, brief introduction. I'm Nene Aliemeke.
I am Cyril Chukuka Aliemeke.
Right. We have been together for 8 years and some months now. We got married last year, October. So for our first episode, we decided that we would put out a link and ask people to ask us any questions that they have.
Yep.
Not about marriage, because I mean we just started that one, but relationship and everything in general. So yeah, we got some really amazing questions, and well, let's do our best to answer them. Right. So first
Before we
one.
proceed, let's tell them how we recorded this video before. It's not our fault that the video is coming out late.
Yeah,
We did it
yeah.
before.
The
Don't know
app
what
I
happened.
used just messed it up, and then it's been a while. It's been a struggle to record it again, but we are here finally. Thank
Finally,
God.
thank God that I got my wife to finally record because she's the one that has been
So you're not
holding
going to put me
people's
under the
video.
bus just like that.
Yes, you're the one that has been holding their video.
I don't blame you. Says hi Nene. I think you and Cyril are super cute. Thank you.
Oh,
P.S. How did you know you had met your person and that he was the one? So okay, I'll go first.
ladies first.
For for me, it's the vibe was practically perfect when we met and started talking and started our relationship. It felt like
What do you mean by vibe?
it felt like I could talk to you about anything, right? We were friends. It felt like we were friends, even though we kind of just met each other and started this stuff, right? But we clicked, we connected really easily.
I can't remember
And
some of the things we were talking about back then.
but we were just talking about any and everything, right? And when we would hang out, we even if we were not going to like the most extravagant places or anything, we knew how to have fun together,
Yeah.
right? And it just felt right, and the fact that both of us were willing to continue to make it work as well. So yeah, it I think it was, I won't lie, it was like 3 years into it that I knew for a fact
Mm-hmm.
that this is my person. This is actually the person that whatever happens, this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah, so for me, it's just like you said. I think the part that you picked on, like maybe 3 years in, because when a relationship is still, you're getting to discover yourself at that early stage, people just. So I'm going to put a disclaimer here. Every view I say out, it's mine, and I don't want it to be like I'm speaking for people or speaking for others. Yeah, so I'm just going to be like, yeah, people always say that, oh, we meet, we clicked, and we started dating. I would always say, yeah, because of how our relationship was, or yeah, is we met. It took a while for me to open up to the idea of having my own person because I was just coming out from a. I've always been the lover boy, so permit me to say, yeah. I was just coming out from a relationship that I had kept practically throughout my university.
Me too, actually. I
Yeah,
had the
I kept that relationship throughout my university, but one thing or the other led to a breakup, and it wasn't the most pleasant relationship, but it was good. It was fun while it lasted. So I was just coming out, and it was a whole lot for me to phantom. I didn't want to date again. Then boom, I met you. I tried dating someone. Oh, for those that don't know, we met in
NYC.
NYC camp.
Yeah.
So after the camp, I know I met her in camp, and I tried dating. I'm not really dating per se, but I tried something with someone when I came out of camp, and not just one, some other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but
A
when I
few
met her, I just
someone's.
felt, yeah, a few someone's, yeah. But when I met her, I just felt it felt effortless. Like you weren't trying so hard to want to be in a relationship with me, even though I knew that you liked me. Sometimes I didn't know, Sha. Let me be truthful. Yeah, but I did like you, and I wanted to be with you. And the thing is, it was not to the point where we left NYC and the realities of life now started coming in, and you had to get a job. I was looking for a job. Yeah, and that was reality. That was when I knew that okay. After a year, we still kept in touch. 2 years, we kept in touch because we were in Lagos. I was where I was. That's when you now start looking like, okay, there might be something there, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was it.
The second question: what does being married feel like? I'm very curious.
Sweet, oh, sweet. So let me start by saying when we went to marriage class, yeah, when we we're doing the whole, because I'm a Catholic, I'm born Catholic, born bred, baptized, confirmed Catholic. So I have the whole Catholic line, and my parents are ninth in the Catholic Church. So it was basically like during marriage class, because we had to attend my Catholic marriage classes. They will tell you everything, what the husband needs to do, what the wife needs to do when it comes to your sexual life.
Yeah.
So it's. I think the one thing with marriage, yeah, is what makes it so sweet is the fact that you don't have to bother about so much that you used to worry about when you were still single. Like I'll give you for example, like your wife would understand that there's no money because she's your wife and not your girlfriend anymore. And your girlfriend, you are trying to woo her, so you have to always be
So
perfect. You don't have to always be perfect with your wife. So
true.
that's what makes marriage sweet, you know. And it's the anytime, every time you are in it for the long run makes it so sweet. That's for me. Then some other things that I for obvious reasons I can't disclose online because my mother might be watching this. Thank you.
Okay. For me, I'll say that because we've been together for a long time, right, and we had started living together, we got to really understand each other and know. He knows like what my faults are, I know what his faults are. Like we know each other's strengths and we've
Weaknesses.
and weaknesses as well. And we've we now understand how to work with both to make it one. So it's made marriage easy for us. And also because we could talk about anything. There's literally nothing in that will happen in marriage, in our marriage now, that we won't be able to talk about and figure out together. So it's finding that your person that is willing to go through this life with you through the ups and downs that makes marriage sweet, actually. But so far, so good. Our marriage has been amazing, and
Mm.
yeah, it has.
Yeah. Tough it. I did try you. Those
actually,
viewers at home.
actually, I can't say he's not trying. They try, they try.
Thank you. Thank you, my love.
The next one says, "Is marriage interesting?" Kind of answered that
Yeah, I
already.
think kind of answered
I
that.
love my space so much. Cohabiting a problem.
I loved this
Hmm.
question when I saw it. Yeah, I love the question from the moment I saw it because this is something I've always wanted to speak on. Especially, don't be looking at me because I want to speak. I'm not a marriage counselor. Like I love to speak on it because I've seen a lot of takes about cohabiting online, cohabiting, yeah,
Yeah.
online, and yeah, I read it and sometimes I understand where all parties are coming
Coming from,
from,
yeah.
yeah. But some people make it seem like oh, cohabiting is such a bad thing. Oh, it's such a it's such a thing that you shouldn't do. Right? No, 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 no. Here's what I'm going to say about cohabiting, yeah. If you are going to I'm an advocate for cohabiting with your partner before you get married to the person. Why do I say so? Because I believe that even if it's for 4 months or 5 months before you guys eventually decide to get married, because it tells you everything about that period, lets you know everything about your partner that you need to know.
Yeah.
Now, let's say, for example, there are characters I can hide when you're around for 2 weeks or a week. The goal is not to hide anything from your partner, you know, or it's not to want to live a shady life, or you want to live it. But I just feel like it gives you a lot of time to know more
To be
about it.
yourself.
Exactly. You can't pretend. Well, they say some people can't, but I feel like it's almost difficult for you to pretend in if you are in constant space with someone for 5 months. There is no way that something will not give. And by giving, I mean it might be a cough, it might be a sneeze, it might be just something that opens up or opens you up and opens your eyes or your to an idea of this is a lifetime of this with this person. Yeah. So at that point, if you know you need to adjust, if you know you need to,
or you can't take it,
you can't take it, you need to work on yourself, what you need to work on, because the truth is marriage is baggage. Yeah, I have my baggage, you have your baggage. When it comes, it's me bringing mine, you bring in yours. I'll now start ticking. What can I live with that you have? You're not this, you don't meet this. Yeah, okay. Can I live with it?
Exactly.
And I choose to. So every time people make that mistake, yeah, you chose to live with it.
Yeah, to overlook it.
Yes, to overlook it. So because at one point in time or the other, it should come up, and the only way it comes up is when you cohabit with the person.
Yeah.
That's my.
So I don't necessarily have a lot to say about it because I totally agree with what you said. Yeah, but then there's this one thing that my mom told me that always stuck with me. Like, you have to make sure you like the person even when you don't love the person. And I feel like cohabiting shows you that, right? When you're in the same space for a long period of time, you get to know who this person really is. And then you get to know if you actually like who this person really is when you're in that space together. So we are not saying that everybody has to cohabit or anything like that. Do what works for you.
Yeah.
But cohabiting worked.
It worked for us actually.
Perfectly well for us.
It did work for us to a great extent because by the time we already knew what we wanted. So
exactly. Okay, next one.
Sure.
It goes, were y'all being celibate? And if yes, how did you go about it?
Straightforward answer. No lies.
We were not.
So I'm married now. There's some things I can say. I'm not worried about my mom and my dad and what they'll see when they find out. Mama, I'm sorry, but we're not being celibate.
We don't have to say.
We don't want to give you for the. Don't want to give you for the graphic details. No, but just trust me, we're not being celibate.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Next question. How often? Okay, so this one and the next question kind of are the same. So I'll ask both of them. How often do you think a couple should have sex weekly? What works for you guys? And the next one goes sex timetable or as the spirit leads.
Okay. Let me allow my wife start with that.
As the spirit leads, I mean, I don't understand sex timetable or having to say, oh, we must have sex 2 or 3 times in a week.
If you are doing sex timetable, then you have no business being married. I'm sorry to say.
Because I mean,
I'm not trying to throw out what you want, maybe a timetable, but if you want to have a sex timetable, then you are either marrying the wrong person or you're not
physically attracted.
Yeah, you're not physically attracted.
So you're kind of maybe forcing that. That's what it feels like to me because I mean I feel like you can just walk into the house and see your partner and be like, I'm in the mood.
Don't even need to say I'm in the mood.
No, it's just say, but like you feel it that okay.
Yeah.
Just looking at the person, I'm in the mood, and then you go ahead, right? Also, you also have to have the person you're with. You guys have to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah, very important.
It is important that you are on the same, because if you're it's going to be difficult to. You're in the mood and this person is not in the mood all the time. It's going to be a problem. Right, so you have to be sure that you're on the same wavelength, and if we were celibate, we would not have known that.
Exactly.
Right.
But you're committed.
So thank God it led to marriage.
So the thing for me is just like my wife said, if you can't be saying as the spirit or what
Sex
sex
timetable.
timetable. No, 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 no. It's crazy. Like you have to. I think I like what she spoke about the attraction level. Yeah, it has to be mutual. I think because every time I go online and I see, oh, man quarrels with woman because woman did not, my sex drive is high or sex drive is low. I always feel like it's more of you have to match. It's not just on sexual wavelength. You don't have to be the same, yeah. But you have to know that your partner is willing to step up,
Mm-hmm.
and you should always be willing to understand when your partner cannot step up.
Yep.
Though on the long run it's always going to be an issue because you have to like it equally. Like just boys, everything just comes down to what I say about baggage, like if you like somebody, you should be able to make sacrifice and compromise.
For the
But
person,
I
yes.
feel like, but for someone that is really, really sexually active, compromising that this part is not going to be a big part of my is
That's gonna be a
it's not going to
problem.
work,
It's not gonna work.
because sex is a big part is a big part of marriage.
It is.
Imagine waiting your whole life for something that just to do it the right way and the legal way, and you now finally get to that point and there's some disparity in
It's not gonna work.
it ain't gonna work. No, there's no need sugarcoating it. It's not going to could it work.
Okay, so the next one is how did you not carry belle? Because I knew that I was not ready for the belle. So I knew for a fact that I was not ready. So we were very, very, very careful. And see, women, get your period calculators. There's so many out there. It is important to use them, right? So I was always able to track like my ovulation period and my fertility window, and to know when I was safe and when I wasn't safe, because see, I was not ready for it. So I was very, 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 we were very careful. That's
Yeah,
just it. We were extra careful.
very careful because you don't want your life to turn upside down before it starts. And
Yeah,
also it's very important, like we need to let people know that it's something I've always wanted to say. Yeah, you shouldn't a pregnancy should not be a reason to start a marriage. It shouldn't be a
exactly.
reason to stay in a relationship. Shouldn't be a reason to do a lot of stuff. Like you should do it because you are
You're
ready
ready
to
for
do
it.
it for it.
Yes.
Yes, you are adult enough to know, because it's a commitment. It's a very, very serious pregnancies and childbirthing and all those. They are very serious commitments that not because okay now I'm pregnant now let's
Let's.
no, it's not something that, or oh, okay, you are sexually active and it's when you now get pregnant that you remember that your religion or this thing forbids you to have. So it shouldn't be a reason to start anything. That's just my opinion. So why did she carry belle? Because yeah, just like she said, we walked around our timetable. Yes, and it also involved me saying some things that for some obvious reasons I cannot see.
Yeah, moving on.
Moving on.
Okay, this is a long one. Hi, did you live together before getting married?
Yes, answer that.
If yes, how did you deal with being able to pray after sex? Also, how did you deal with conflicts? How did you manage having dates? Did you ever feel like living together was a mistake? Was your husband able to ever surprise you? See, it's a lot of questions, so
That's
let's.
a. I think we answered one already. That's did we live
Living together,
together?
yeah,
Yes, we
we don't need
did.
to go through that one again.
Were you able to pray after sex? Well, we're committing what do you call it? Fornication.
Yes.
Yes, it was fornication. So of course you have to pray for, oh Lord, the spirit of every spirit of fornication. But I'm sure that God has forgiven us now because he ended in praise.
Yeah, to be
Mhm.
honest, we are
We're
not
not the
the
most,
most
yeah,
religious.
we're not the most religious. We were at that time not the most religious. Even as and
Religious.
now, we're not still the most religious couple, but
We have we have
personal
personal
relationships with God.
relationship with God,
Yeah.
right? We have a good relationship with God. We know God is everything to us because we've been through so much that if not for
A lot.
God. So we know that, yeah. But then it because I don't know, it just always felt right being with this person. I knew it was a sin, but I didn't always see it as a sin. I know
Yeah.
it's contradicting, right? But that's just how it was. So praying after sex, we didn't necessarily do that. I mean, when we would pray for forgiveness and all, but it wasn't like
That specific, yes,
we'll
sin.
hold hands and say, "Oh, Father Lord, forgive us
For this sex
for."
we've had, forgive us, O
No,
Lord.
we,
No,
we, we never did
we never
that.
did that.
No. How did you deal with conflicts?
Yeah, conflict resolution. That was also a question I liked when I saw it, because for conflict, well, let me let you go first.
Okay, so communication was a very big problem for us at the beginning. The first few years, actually, communication was a very
Yeah.
big problem because I'm very, I like to talk about whatever issues we have. I will talk your ears off when I know that something is wrong. And I believe you should be able to do that too, right? But my husband was the exact opposite. Like when something happens, he would just close off. He would need his space. He probably there was sometimes that he wouldn't want to talk for days about something that we should have sorted out on the first day. And I had to keep hammering it that, babe, this is not how it works. At least not for me. I don't think so. Because you will keep keeping things and it would almost start building, right? And that's not how a relationship works. You have to be able to communicate. So when he finally got to the point that he understood it and he was willing to talk about things, I was ecstatic. Since then, it was very easy to solve whatever little problem that we had without making it become a big thing. So conflicts were solved with communication for us. Fine.
Yeah, so me, I would always just say, like, I think to a great extent, people underestimate the power of communication in every relationship. Yeah, like the power of communication, the art of communicating is the single most important part of every relationship, because it's not, there are different kind of communications. There's verbal and non-verbal communication. You know, when you say, oh, I can say something,
Nothing.
shut up your mouth. I can say something and I can do something and I can act in a certain type of way.
Yeah.
It's not up to you, the partner, to pick up on those cues.
Yes.
Because when I cannot speak, I should be able to react. When I cannot react, I should be able to. And you just get it that there's something, yeah, that is bothering me, or there's something that is troubling me, or there's something that we need to talk about. And yeah, you know, because of my life, all my life, where I've been coming from, you know, my relationship with my parents, also communication was a bit
Difficult.
difficult. You know, you just close up when you need to talk about something, because you always feel like, this thing, nothing good can come out of this. Or I when I was younger, I used to have anger issues, so I don't want to say the wrong things, and I'll not get angry, and I'll not react in a certain type of way, or say some certain type of thing that would now cause more harm than good. So that was always my biggest fear in communication. Yeah, but when I understood that sometimes, yeah, all you just need to do is talk about
Just
it.
talk. Yeah.
Just talk about it. Like, it's not going to change the time that you spend being angry about something. Just talk about it. Like, hey, you did something, yeah? It's easy for me to ignore you for 5 hours.
Very
Yeah,
easy.
very easy for me to just ignore you for 5 hours, but it's difficult for me to just say, yo, oh yeah, come, chill. What happened? Let's talk about it. You will not always agree, even after you communicate. But communication gives you a better perspective into
Exactly.
into the mindset of the person, and where the person is coming from, and what is making the person so annoying. Because someone reacts in a certain type of way and you're like, but why this person dey vex like this? Is it not just this small? No.
Yeah.
Gives you
Something small for
gives
you
an
cannot be
insight
small for
on
me.
why that person is reacting that type of way. And I always want people to know that when your partner reacts about something, it's not a bad thing. It's not overreacting. It's not a bad. Yeah, some people do overreact, because I believe, like, if after reacting and there's a communication, if you still decide to take it further, it becomes a point where it becomes overreacting. Yeah. And some people are just wired that way, that they will overreact about scenarios that are not supposed to warrant that reaction. But it's now left to you to understand Because if you can figure out that that person is overreacting, then you know that the person has it in his nature to
Take things
take
too
things that
far.
way, because you didn't just figure it out from that one scenario that
Mm-hmm.
this person they overreact. No, it's always a pattern. When something happens, the person reacts this way, reacts this way.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
you now know where to. It's all about. It's still part of understanding and communication. You now know how to react towards it.
Yeah.
Okay,
How did you
so
manage having dates? Did did you living together ever feel like a mistake? Never felt like a
nah,
mistake. No.
never.
Was your husband able to ever surprise you? So for dates, we
We're going on one today. After we finish this video.
yeah. But early on, to be honest, we were not exactly able to afford
Yeah, there was no money.
dates, right?
What it was
But
so
we
there was no money.
but we found ways around it. Like there were times when we would just, because we are also sort of like party animals, right? There were times when we would take like 5K, 6K and go to the club, and he would have like two bottles of is it Heineken or
Trophy.
Trophy, and I have two bottles of Origin, and we would dance for the whole night, and we'll go back home and we have fun,
Yeah.
or we'll just go to a sit
Local
out
bar, sit
bar
out.
and eat nkwobi or something and have fun. And when we could afford to go to see a movie, we would go see a movie
Yeah.
or buy lunch or something. So we did the little that we could
At
do.
at every point we did the little
That we could do. And when we were not able to start affording like proper dates,
Yeah.
we will go on proper dates. It's as long as you have the time for it and you create the time for it, then yeah. And surprises, see, like you said, he's the king of surprises. He's very intentional with it. And coming from a relationship where I really didn't have any of that, I like okay, when we were still early on and I would travel from Lagos to go and see him in Port Harcourt or Warri or something. And I'll get there and this man would have bought clothes for me, right? And maybe slippers and a bag, and you're actually broke here, but you still thought about it. You were still able to say, oh, okay, let me buy it. I'll see something and she'll like it, let me buy it for her. It was a big deal to me because I never really had someone that was intentional like that. And then it carried on to my birthdays, to Valentine's Day, and it felt amazing that someone thought that I was important enough to want to do stuff for me. And so because of that, I've also been able to start returning the favor, right? Because he's a gifter and he deserves gifts too. So I've also been intentional about being that way to him too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so for me, yeah, it's basically I there's no love without intention. That's what I'll just say. Like if you love someone, if you claim you love someone, if you indeed love the person, you have to be intentional about it. Like, and giving gifts is part of, because if a man loves you, he will gift you. I think that's the only one thing sometimes I agree when when you say if a woman like man they do for, yeah, if a man loves you, he will gift you. If a man loves you, he will go out of his way to make sure that you feel valued, appreciated. You will know, because love is intentional. The little things you might not have so much, just like she said, then you couldn't afford a lot. But in that I not being able to afford a lot, at least I was trying to do the best I could. It's not like now where I know that to an extent I can afford a lot. Yeah, but that's just what it is. And love is intentional. Love is sweet. Is if you are ready for it, that's just it. So if it's not gifting you, it's not like he's a bad person. Maybe he just doesn't have the capability to do it at that point. All right. So yeah, and she, just like she said, she started gifting too because she had to learn from the best, just like Davido said. Yeah, so I was going to say something here, and I also learned gifting from our friends, Manny, Frances, and Manny, because watching them, because they are also like one very intentional couple when it comes to gifting. She's the CEO of Franwell Eco Furnitures. You see this our lovely piece. If you
Yep.
can see it hanging behind us, that's Frances. She does that, and I used to notice that there was a time where they did a puzzle where she arranged 20 gifts in her house and dropped clues for her husband to start looking for. And it was so interesting. It was so nice. I loved it so much. And I'm like, yeah, you want to emulate some good things from other couples. So gifting is a very important part of relationships, friendships, marriage,
Everything.
everything. As long as even your relationship with your parents, your siblings, gifting is big. The measure you give is the measure that you will receive. It might not be by receiving. It might not be like you will, if you give 10,000 now you receive, no, but it's just that the thoughtfulness behind it is what counts.
Yeah. So yeah, how did you manage finances?
Finance.
And what were the things you did to spice up the relationship? So for finance, I am the.
I think I should start with finance.
Okay, you want to start with?
Yes, let me start with finance. Because even on our wedding day, when they were doing this game and they said, who is the person that can chop money to zero? You see, I, sir. So I'm bad financially. Sometimes people struggle with their finances, but they don't like to, especially the financial aspect of their lives. They don't like to actually say they struggle with the financial aspect of their lives. But I struggle with with managing finance.
Yeah.
I am bad, and I'm not just bad. I'm terrible at managing finance. If I have money,
everybody
I'm not proud of it,
that
but
he has money.
You must know how much I will chop it. I will chop it. It's when I've not chopped that money. My eye will not clear and be like, oh, but I had money. You not see me start to do calculation on how I spent money that I've spent long time ago. So yeah, for finance, I feel like everybody has in every household, yeah, financially, is either the husband is as a couple. I don't know if I should speak to only men. I think I also speak to people in relationships. In a relationship, it's kind of a bit different because you are not married and
you're still like
standing on your own. So he has his own, you have your own. Yeah. So, but for us, what worked for finance for us was right from time she was good with finance. So even when we're dating, if there was money, I would just I'll just give you, especially money that needed keeping.
Yeah. And as a Jebu girl that I am, I kept the money.
So I can keep money till Jesus come.
See, if that money is not meant to be touched, it will not be touched.
Yes.
So yeah, that really helped us.
Please try it with me. Bring your savings.
Oh my God, please do. So that actually helped us because we then knew that okay, so when we needed to start saving, it would be with me, and the money that we also needed to like spend maybe daily and stuff, I would know how to take it out and give it to him when we needed that.
That's why I don't understand that my money is money, our money, she money. No. Money.
Yeah.
Money is everybody money, you know.
We've always been. I've always been the type of person that when I have money, we have money. Yeah. When he has money, we have money. I don't know how to. I mean, yes, I can have my own savings still. But then the bulk of the money is our money.
It's mostly just, so what we do now is when money comes in, she has her money she gets monthly from me. I have my own, so I just take out, send her own to her, like this is for you, this is for me. Then the bulk of it goes to savings.
Yeah.
So that's what works for us. If it's even when it's her money, when it's her money, when she's the one that brought in the money for the month, or maybe the way our business works. People should give my wife work. Yes. The way it works is when the money comes in, we do the same thing. We do like a 50-50. We do like a 20-20 split or 25-25 split, and the rest goes into savings. So when is our money? Even if it's our money, even if it's my money, 25% come to me, 25% to go to her, and the remaining 50 goes to savings. So that's how we do.
Yeah, and spicing up the relationship.
Is there a question of spicing up?
How do you spice up relationship?
Relationship that needs, it's too early to be needing spicing.
We don't need. I don't know how to say it. I'm not trying to be anyway, but we haven't necessarily needed to spice up the relationship. We've had it good, and we just continue to know what is good for us. So
what works?
What works for us. So spicing up the relationship hasn't necessarily come up, except maybe I don't understand what it is to spice up the relationship, right? We've just
What do you mean by spice up? Is it to tiger whip or to tie 50 shades of grace kind of spice? If that's what you mean, yeah, you can. It's also it's important to be
to know what kink works
yeah,
for both of
what
you,
works for both of you. It's
I
important to
guess.
be creative in your relationship, you know. But you have to be sure that your partner is that kind of person
Before you
too.
go and
Before you go
title
and do
me
the one
and
and they're not looking at you like you're possessed. So it's also it's always very important that you guys are on the same
talk
wavelength.
about it first,
Communication,
please.
like everything comes back to communication. You know, communicating is the most important part of every relationship. Just communicate about it
Right.
and know what your partner likes.
Okay, this is the final question.
Wow, we've gotten to the final one. Okay,
And this is a save the best for last, I
okay.
guess. This might be personal, but I genuinely need the advice. Y'all dated for 8 years. Was there any cheating scandal? I cheated on my boyfriend. He forgave me. As much as I didn't mean to hurt him, I did. I don't love him less, but I did find the other person attractive. Do you think it'd be easy to move on from it?
Hmm. Yeah, well, I saw this question too before we did the video, and just like you said, it's very personal for you. And well, what I would say is
Do you want to start from the cheating scandal?
from the cheating scandal, yeah, for her. Let me say, was there any cheating scandal? It was never a case where my wife, when we're dating, saw that I was cheating. But I need you people to understand that cheating is also a whole lot of. I think you already know that there's a whole lot of things involved in cheating. Cheating is not just when you sleep
With
with
the
someone
person.
else, with the person. Yeah, texting is cheating. Emotional connection with someone else other than your partner is cheating. Yeah, and there were times where she would see messages on my phone where you were chatting with someone else and trying to, you would just know that these two they have a correspondence, And so yeah, that was cheating. But I think one of the most important thing was I always made her understand right from time, not like that this is going to be the normal, but no, that I respect you enough to um to know that when you saw something like that, that I would then I used to cut ties off with people, like, because of the distance. It wasn't easy, and I think a lot of people have to also be truthful in there are a lot of things that people need to be truthful in relationships, especially as young people. Distance is a factor. The uncertainty of a whole lot of things is a factor. You can meet someone, and just like you said, you met someone and you were attracted to the person, and it's not like you didn't have a relationship, but that happened. You slept with someone. I don't know. Did she specify that
Yeah.
she slept with
She
someone
cheated
else?
on,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me see. Let me not go and say what.
I cheated on
Yes,
my
my
boyfriend.
boyfriend, he
He
forgave me.
forgave
So
me.
let me assume that you slept with someone else. Yeah. So I think a lot of times we don't like to speak about the how the uncertainty of a lot of scenarios, because you are with this person, you guys have a relationship, you don't know, you are somewhere else, you could be like 2 states away or five
Like
states
for
away.
us,
Yeah,
yeah, most times I was in Lagos, he was in,
yeah, I was
he
always
went from
around.
Asaba to Port Harcourt to
Yes,
Warri
or
before he
it
came
came
to
before I came to
Lagos.
Lagos. So the uncertainty about moving around, you meet people as you move, some exciting people, some interesting people. You just want to, strike up something. Then they're giving you the right vibe. Also, those things happen. Yeah, I remember the first time I called her and saw that she was in a place that was not too, and look at me doing detective, checking the Tupac picture by the end of the world, and it's a whole lot of things. What I would always say is, you did cheat, you were caught, you were forgiven. The work now falls on you to make your boyfriend know that it's just a moment of weakness. Everybody
Hopefully it
has
won't
that
happen
moment of
again.
weakness, and hoping it won't happen again. That's just the truth. Like, there's actually nothing you can do to. You are not in the person's mind. You don't know his priorities. You don't know all those things. So you can't control the narrative from that point. The only narrative you can control is what happens after he has forgiven you and those things. And you did say that you liked the person enough. I hope it was, I hope after it happened, that's where the realization came that you love your boyfriend, or if not, don't deceive yourself, people. Like, it's true. If you like someone enough and something happened between you and the person and you are feeling the person, you have to actually talk it out with that person and end that chapter before moving on to back to your boyfriend. As crazy as it is the truth, because if not, you
You always
always
fall
go
back to
back.
that person.
That's it.
Um, so I wouldn't say there was a cheating scandal per se or anything like that, right? Because yeah, when different states, especially at the beginning of the relationship,
Uh-huh.
we were in different states, living different lives, like trying to survive in where we were, right? So I just I okay, I come from before him, I come from a relationship where there were cheating scandals. We were in the same university and these things were happening in my face, right? So I had sort of
Gotten used to it.
gotten used to it and felt like, oh, this is normal. For the longest time, I felt, men will
Yeah,
always cheat,
I remember the struggles when we met. She would always be like, "That's what you guys do now. That's what men do." Like, it was
I
always
just
a, "That's
immediately
what
just
men
thought
do."
men would always do it, so just you have to accept it. But then, um, during the times where we were not together, I wasn't focused on whatever I was doing then. I was focused on when we were talking, how we were relating to each other. When I went to see him, how we were together. When he came to see me, how we were together. That was basically what I was focused on. So I wasn't thinking of if you had other friends or whatever. I think it's if you're going to be intentional about the relationship,
Hmm.
you I don't know where my head is going right now, but I was intentional about because I knew how I felt about him and being with him. So that was what I focused on. So when we now finally came to Lagos and we were still not living together yet, but we were in Lagos together, that was when we then now put in the work to be 100%
Uh-huh.
together, right? I did not care about whatever happened before then. It was not important to me. It was when we were together that was important to me, and that's when we now decided that okay, it's me and you, and
Yeah.
basically that was it,
And,
right?
and sometimes when I get to speak to people, when they ask me like, "How you guys have been together for 8 years?" I will always be like, "Yeah." Sometimes, yeah, you don't. I don't count those early times in the relationship. We've known each other for that long, and we have been in a relationship. But if you have been honest and you have been truthful and you have been sincere, you will know that it's when you guys have been in the same space, the same city, the same, like, cohabiting and all those
Yes.
things. That's when the relationship actually starts.
Felt like those early years
Yeah,
were
those
like
early years
13
were more like,
years.
yeah, they were more like just getting to discover yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, this person is just your friend, but the most special friend you have, like your girlfriend. But in all, there's just most special person that you had.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this to say, like, some people look watch this and say, this guy don't beat her because she had other girls. Yes, yes. But if you are being honest and you're being truthful and you're saying the right things to yourself, you know that what happens is what you can control when you are together. That's the most important thing. You focus on that, you build on that, how you feel around where you are the person. Those are the pointers that let you know that this person is the person for me. I've met my person. Because when we used to be younger, they would always feel like, no, it was a bad thing for you to just be open about some topics. And when it comes to you, think when they are talking of especially relationships and all those things. But the world is changing. Yeah, a lot of people, you have to be open, you have to be
Just yeah.
honest. There are some truths that people don't want to accept. you know is
And you
either
have to
is
accept it.
is either is this way or is this way. And yes, it's true, it's either right or wrong, but it's also an in between, and an in between is also valid. So
Yeah. So for your relationship, I hope it works out. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Please
it's going
send
to
us
be
an invite
difficult.
when the wedding is coming up.
Yeah,
For free, we'll
I know
attend.
it's going to be difficult because
It is
the
going to be
fact that he
difficult,
has
though.
forgiven you, he may not have forgotten,
Yeah.
right? It's I don't know why, but to for men, when their person cheats on them is much more painful for men. So you have to be sure that he's actually forgiving you, right? And he's actually willing to
No, if
continue
he
the
keeps bringing it
relationship.
up every 2 market days, please leave
That's
that
going to be a
relationship. Oh.
problem. Then
It's not like I'm saying she just leave, oh,
he's going
but
to keep
talk it.
using it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
communicate first. Then, if it's not working after that, if still keeps bringing up, please move on to the greater things. Thank you.
Yeah. So
With
we
that,
are
I've come to the
done.
end.
Yeah. And
Oh
I hope
wow.
we're able to answer your questions to the best of our abilities, and I hope we are still cute after all these questions that we answered. Yeah. So for the next episode that we are looking to make, we want to basically just talk about cohabiting. So I'm going to put out a link after this video is up. I'm going to put out a link on my Twitter and Instagram. So if you have questions on cohabiting, just look out for that.
You can also send in if there's anything that you guys think that we should talk about.
Yes, please.
Doesn't have to be only relationships.
Anything at all.
It could be what you want, like your opinion or your take about this topic. Please give us suggestions in the comment section. Yes.
So yeah, with that we say thank you very much.
I bet you guys didn't know I used to talk because a lot of people don't know me.
they
They
talk
only
at
know Nene. Nene Wanyo. She's no longer Wanyo, she's Aliemeke. This is the man behind the steel. Thank you.
Right, so please like, comment, subscribe,
Yeah, subscribe
I'd love
because
to continue this.
yes, I want to buy new passport. I'm just joking. Please like, share,
Subscribe.
please be careful
comment.
how you share. I don't want it to go get to my mother.
Mother, you to get there. There's nothing we can do
I'm
about
just
that.
starting my career.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
I want to say have a good day. Just
Bye.
bye, guys.